is pretty awesome. It may look like just an ordinary Hilux, and to be honest, it kind of is. But you may notice something a little bit different once we start looking under the hood here. This is our LM106 Hilux, and we've developed a compound turbo kit to slap under the hood. What's cool about this kit is, yes, it's awesome on this Hilux, but it doesn't mean that you can't have it at home, because this is going to be a kit you can purchase for your very own Hilux. For now, it's just the 3L that we're doing it for, but very soon we might be able to sort out the 1KD for the newer Hiluxes, for example. What we're going to do in this video is kind of show you the construction process, the build process, in short, get you to listen to some sounds and yeah, kind of watch the process, enjoy the vehicle with us, and maybe even sell you on a kit for your very self. It's pretty exciting. What an awesome we built. I'm super wrapped with how it turned out, and I hope you guys like it too. So if you like it, give us a thumbs up, maybe give us a follow, whatnot, and yeah, stay tuned for more ridiculous builds. Where the 45 on the back of this turbo comes out. We'll mark that, cut that, put the fitting on, and we'll go from there, and then we'll be pretty close to slapping the big turbo on. So as you can see, that is the turbo manifold with the primary turbo on it, the small one. It's an internally gated turbo, and down here we have some brace holes here. So this is where the bracing is going to bolt back to the block, give it some support, help reduce the chance of cracking. But I think what the cooler part is this is an internally gated turbo. We want to try to keep everything simple and compact. And the reason why we're doing this is because when the turbo is boosting, and if it was an fully internally gated turbo, it would wastegate back through the exhaust and boost the big turbo, which we don't want. So we're teeing off the wastegate because it's separated at the back of the turbine, and we're teeing it off. So this can either be run externally gated or palm it back into the exhaust, and you've got a bit of choice there. So I think that's pretty cool. And there it kind of is. The compound turbo Hilux kit. What have we done? What have we made? Oh my god! Oh my! And that's low boost. That's what I'm saying. That's a low boost. Oh. Holy. So now that we're on the inside of the Hilux, let's have a quick gander of what we've got going on from the cockpit. This here obviously is the dash. We have our DFI or DEFI 10-in-1 multi-gauges. These things are bloody essential if you're if you've got any aftermarket setup, even stock setups, it's bloody awesome to have. So we'll get the thing started up. This is the inside of the Hilux. It's pretty cozy, and what you'll notice is we've got these solar screens in the back here. These are bloody awesome. Make it real cozy for us on the inside. I highly rate them as well. And if you've got any vehicles, we can make them for that too. But anyway, enough brand bashing. So this thing's quite quiet. until it hits gate, and that's what we're talking about. Keep in mind, this setup we've designed to be quite compact, so it can fit in the engine bay and be comfortable. Now, the wastegate setup is when it gets quite cool, in my opinion. So the primary turbo has the internal gate, the secondary turbo has no gate. Instead of having a bulky external wastegate setup, we're using the internal gate off the VHF4, and we've got the flanges set up so it actually externally gates currently to atmosphere, but it can be replumbed in afterwards. Obviously that needs to be done, because if we internally gated it, then it would boost the second turbo. So you'd wastegate open and it would just send it straight to the second turbo and not discard boost. So this way we have the sounds, if we want, of external gate and the benefits of a wastegate, obviously not a free boosting setup like we have previously run, but then you also get the really cool sounds. A really compact setup. It seems pretty cool right now. I'm really enjoying the sound of it, and once we get off this corner we'll actually be able to have probably be able to listen on the microphones. I'll turn off noise cancelling on the mic now. Yeah, so noise cancelling's off now, so you might actually be able to hear it if we just open it up a little bit. It's a small road, so I don't want to... Yeah, so there, as you can hear, that wastegate opens up and it just gives it that aggressive touch that makes it so special. So the setup pretty much is quite simple for anyone interested in it for themselves. It is a stock Hilux fuel pump. It's a 10mm pump, non-boost compensated. Ideally, 12mm, 11mm, whatever, boost compensated pump would be ideal. But I'm trying to show how simple we can make a setup and make it work, and hopefully make it work reliably. So that's what we're testing. That's what we're figuring out. We're on a stock pump, stock motor, just a turbo kit. And so far it feels awesome, and the power from it is impressive for a very stock motor and stock setup. So we've got the drony-wony, send the drony-wony up. Hopefully Amber can operate this piece of machinery. So if you don't see the drone footage, either it never returned or it just didn't work out. So what we're going to try to do, leave everything mic'd up, mic up the truck potentially, video and get some audio, ground audio, so we can kind of match it up and get some cool shots as well. So we'll get that going. Wish us luck. See you on the ground. before we do too much more, we're going to take a look at my Hilux because I've lost the clutch. It's undrivable, so I need to get it off the hoist. So let's figure out, now that it's the end of the week, what's going on with it. I know we did compound turbo the Hilux, and it's making a fair bit of torque, fair bit of boost. But I don't think the actual clutch is the problem. It is a heavy duty clutch. I do trust Extreme Outback clutches, so I don't think that has let us down. It felt like the clutch fork let go, something like that. So let's have a closer look at what's going on in there. Now that it's the end of the week, I've got time to work on my own vehicle. Let's have a look at what's going on. I think this is the issue that we are having. The ball of the clutch pivot has snapped off. Hasn't met the clutch fork, which I kind of expected. So now I'm a little bit worried about what's happened to the clutch ball. So has it gone through the clutch? Has it not? Let me try do. See if I can pick anything up on my magnet. First try. Literally right away got the old the pivot right there. That is the pivot. What we've wound up doing is taking all the transmission bell housing bolts out, splitting the bell housing a bit, and we're just trying to back the pivot out. Screwdriver, and hopefully we can get this bad boy to come out without dropping the whole trans. I think, yeah, that's free. I think. Look at that. Bada bang, bada boom. Yee-hoo. Can't believe I got that on camera. Arguably the harder part of this ordeal is going to be sliding this down the pivot. Now we've got to separate the bell housing to get that slotted in, and yeah, this could be the challenging part. You absolute beauty. We've managed to do it with a pry bar. Now the slightly more, less tedious part, but still tedious, inching that all the way in, and then we'll chuck the rest of this back together. And that will be job well done. So that is a wrap for the first part of the video for the compound turbo on the old Hilux. We haven't yet taken off-road. I'm looking forward to making a cool video of this rig, ripping it on the west coast with this new setup. That being said, we do have the four-wheel drive expo coming up. So we're really focusing on getting ready for the expo, getting the truck ready for the expo, and getting us in the doors. So that's going to be in Canterbury. I believe that's it. I think it's called Horncastle Arena. The plan's to be there and have a wee stall for you, show you guys some cool stuff. So stay tuned for that. But otherwise, that's a wrap for this video. Stay tuned for more compound turbo Hilux builds and maybe a whole lot of other random stuff. So that's all.